Welcome to Nottingham, a historic city in the centre of England and home to that great legend, none other than Robin Hood. Today Nottingham is playing host to people of a very different kind and indeed a sporting phenomenon. The milk race. Yep, after 20 years the milk race is back, but this time taking on a very different one-day format. Between 1958 and 1993, the milk race was without doubt the most prestigious event on cycling's calendar, and the sponsorship given it by the Milk Marketing Board remains to this day the longest continuous association with cycling that this sport has ever had. Today the race is a one-day affair and some familiar faces are here competing, including Olympic gold medalists such as Ed Clancy, Stephen Burke and Danny King. Now let's head over to our race commentators.
What a beautiful sunny day we have for the milk race. Isn't it great to have it back? The elite women will get us underway with the opener, but this is the course they're dealing with. That's your start finish straight. Nasty hairpin at the end as we shimmy down Friar Lane, Spaniel Row, and then there's the descent to Castle Gate before we start climbing again. Around about here is a nasty little pinch point as St. Peter's Gate opens up, and then heading north and indeed back after a 90-degree onto that start finish straight once more. That's what we're dealing with. What about the race? So let's take a look at the field. Quality will out. Danielle King is here, Eleanor Barker and Amy Roberts, all from Wiggle Honda, but they are not alone. Lucy Martin and Emma Trott also involved for Bowles Dalmans. We got cyclocross superstar Helen Wyman, she's also here. Hannah Barnes leads the challenge for MG Maxi Fuel Pro Cycling. Oh yes, plenty of talent on display. Hayley Jones for Node 4 Giordano Racing as well, daughter of Louise, of course. Alice Cobb leads Scott's Contessa Epic, and there are plenty more here as well. Just one non-Brit racing, Tracy Best making the trip from New Zealand.
Champion, welcome to Nottingham.
Thanks very much. It's nice to be here.
I'll bet it is, and a lovely sunny day. You look a little nervous.
No, not too nervous. I'm all right, actually. Great crowd here, so it'll be really good to perform in front of them.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Thanks to everyone who's come to support this women's race. It's really important that, yeah, people support women's racing because it is really fun and exciting to watch. So, thanks very much.
Yeah, it's really strange for me to be in the UK actually racing. It's great, and I can't believe the weather. Between myself and Lucy, we're going to give it a good go, you know. Us versus Wiggle's going to be a battle.
And how's your form at the moment?
I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully okay.
Oh, you'll play your cards very close to your chest, I can see.
"50 minutes plus 5 laps, and we are underway in glorious sunshine here. Well, as you may have seen from women's cycling, it's quite often it takes a little bit of a time for us to warm up, but the action certainly will be with us by the end. And now it's just kind of a sighting lap, I suppose. From a standing start, you really do need to get this course into your head. And a man who's walked it and knows it extraordinarily well, indeed, is sitting next to me, Tony Doyle. Tony, glorious day today.
You mean fantastic, great sunshine, really good crowd, and got a quality field here for the women's race. And for the first time in British cycling, Carlton, the women are racing for the same amount of money as the men. So the women here are racing for £5,000, the richest prize money ever for a women's race in the UK.
Well, we've got a couple of preems going on as well. On lap 6 for the women, 13, 18 and 24, £250 up for grabs. And you can see they mean business right from the very off here. good leading work going on from Helen Wyman, not hanging around. She is, of course, a star cyclocrosser, does a lot of work in Europe. And of course, Kermis racing and that mentality is kind of brought here to the streets of Nottingham. And it's been a fantastically well-supported event, this. And as you can see, as the speeds start to pick up, they just jostle for position, settle themselves in to what essentially is racing time trialing just for now. You have to find your rhythm, don't you, Tony, at this point?
You've got to find a rhythm, you've got to feel comfortable and get to know the circuit. The girls had 25 minutes beforehand to warm up on the circuit, and hopefully that's helped them familiarise themselves. I know that they were very keen. I spoke to a number of the girls before the start, and you know, delighted with the weather, of course, and with the huge crowd, and great incentive because there's a lot of money on offer for the girls.
Absolutely. Louise Bothwick, she's picked it up nice. She's got a real pace going on her right now. She's just being traced as we speak by Helen Wyman. Helen, as we've said, has carries a lot of experience into this race, and indeed so do many of these women. They come here it might be a fresh idea, if you like, or at least to some of you out there, but of course this is a return of the milk race from what was a stage race to what is a city criterium just for now, but they're taking this extraordinarily seriously. This is a big prize, not just in terms of money, but prestige as well, isn't it?
It certainly is. I mean, the first girl who's going to be across the line, going to be the first ever winner of a women's milk race. So that's a big thing to add to your palmarès.
Absolutely. Emily Kay also involved with Scott Contessa here, and in fact we've got more or less a sub-bunch that's just broken away here. I suppose it's around about 20 riders. We've got some strugglers and stragglers just behind, but the pace is starting to tell on those that don't have quite the fitness level of some of those who exist essentially as pros in the sport.
Well, I mean, it shows you that the pressure's on from the start. The guys have soon got straight into it and very fast. You see some of the riders at the back, they're finding it tough. You've got quality field here. We've got not just the Olympic champion Danny King from Wigan Honda, but also Amy Roberts, but then you've got the youngster Eleanor Barker, who's the reigning World Junior Time Trial champion, and she rode with Danny King and is a member of the 2013 World Team Pursuit team that won the World Championships back in March this year.
Fantastic crowd have turned out here, and they're going to have sore hands by the end of this one, because the applause is ringing out almost constantly. We are approaching the first cream. £250 up for grabs, don't forget, and that is well worth going for. And it looks like this is going to be extraordinarily well contested. Speed's just starting to rise ever so slightly. We've had what averages around about 38 kilometres per hour. You'd expect that on such a tight and twisty course. But as soon as they get any sniff of the straights here, they're really going for it, and you can see how they're stringing out.
They really are. I mean, it's fast when they come down there. The pits on the right-hand lane, they then turn left into Spaniel Row, and the pace is going to be picked up because there's a lot of money on the line this first time. Then they're going to want to assert themselves and compare themselves with the rest of the field to see who's got the legs today.
Well, who's got the legs right now? The answer is Gabriella Day. She's on the nose as they come through this little bit of a chicane, and she's got the escape as she does it right now. Look at this, she's trying for a break. She's going for it, but is she going too early?
I think it's definitely too early. There's still nearly a kilometre to go. You've got Hannah Barnes there, who's looking very comfortable in third wheel, riding for the MG Maxi Fuel team, and she looks like she's got her eye on the money.
Well, Hannah Barnes is tracing this one beautifully, like a golden thread, you might say, hanging on to Emma Trott as they come down this little downhill section. Pace still high out the front. A couple of back markers have been wound in, and here comes the line. £250 up for grabs, don't forget. And, well, it's suddenly cat and mousing just a little bit. That's the sensible way to do it. Who's going to get to the line first, though? Well, they've still got a little bit of a technical road section to go through right now. As they go over the cobbles, you'll feel that through the handlebars. Don't forget your wrists and your elbows acting like shock absorbers right now. Lucky it's dry. Well, who's going to be home clean and dry in a few moments' time? Pace now being delivered, and Emma Trott's trying to snatch at it, but she's still being tracked here by Hannah Barnes in the blue. Oh, Hannah Barnes working for MG Maxi Fuel Pro Cycling, and as they round the corner, it's delivery time. Oh, out of the saddle they come. This is a proper sprint right now. Oh, the first prime, and it is going to be Hannah Barnes. What an assassin. Across the line she comes. Oh, she'll be pleased about that. Almost looks like the end of proceedings, you might think. Sarah Story it is that's waving the flag in triumph over the number 25, and she'll ease off just a little bit now. Oh, some time still to be marked before we get the second preem, but believe me, this is worth fighting for, and they are doing battle out there, Tony.
They certainly are. I knew that the MG Maxi Field team were really up for it today. Speaking with Jamie Scott from the men's team and also the manager of the team, he said how motivated both he was and the girls, and they've got a strong line-up here in the women's team, and I think they're going to be doing battle with Danny King and the Wiggle Honda girls.
After the disappointment of missing the French Open, Andy Murray heads to London's historic Queen's Club, looking to get his season back on track. The Aegon Championships starts tomorrow, 12:15 p.m, live on British Eurosport HD.
Eurosport Player is the Eurosport multi-screen service. With Eurosport Player, watch British Eurosport and British Eurosport 2 live on computer, smartphone and tablet through a single subscription. Watch your favourite events through the catch-up service. Also enjoy exclusive content through the bonus channels. Eurosport Player. All sports, all emotions.
Be part of the first ever. Register at cycloquebecoise.com and plan your trip today.
It's showtime. Prepare to be amazed. Time for the big guns. The big fellas. And we're live in 3, 2, 1. With top pick Barclays Premier League matches
and all the live Aviva Premiership Rugby.
Exclusive to our new TV channels and free with BT Broadband.
These aren't just tickets to some skinny jeans boy band. These are the doors to paradise. And you are no longer ordinary parents. You are superheroes. How do we know? Because every year we thrill card members with millions of the hottest tickets in town. We even arrange for a select few to meet their idols. Tears of joy and pounding hearts. Just part of the rock and roll service we deliver daily. American Express. Realise the potential. How was your stay?
Most refreshing.
That calls for a Carlsberg. For even more refreshment, try new Carlsberg Citrus, blended with natural limes.
Welcome back to Nottingham and the Milk Race 2013. We're in the closing stages of the race now. It's getting frantic out there. Let's rejoin our race commentators.
Well, this is dead centre of the activity now in this prime, the second preem that we've got today. It's lap 13, as you can see. There's going to be plenty today to be dealt with, 50 in total. And the cat and mouse that we talked about a little bit earlier on is just starting to show itself right now. Some tired legs out there, maybe some tired minds as well. A lot of stress, don't forget, in an event such as this. It is huge, let's not forget, Tony.
I mean, it is. It's very technical. It's fast and furious. So the riders really have to concentrate, stay focused, and make sure, you know, they take all those corners, make sure they're on top of the
Look at this,
situation.
Tony, sorry to interrupt, but she's gone for it, and she's made her break right now. 250 quid up for grabs, and Danny King has flown the nest, has she? Well, she's trying to get some distance between herself and the chasers, and she means business. Look at this. This is a supreme effort. This is her move.
It's her move, and it looks like it's Hannah Barnes who's gone with her. Hannah Barnes, who won the first preem earlier on. Yes, she has. She's marked Danny, and she's trying to stay with her. Danny's really accelerating there.
Well, Danny King has gone for it. There's plenty of others in the frame as well, let's not forget. Roberts is here, Amy Roberts as well, trying to close down that gap, but it looks like the trap has been sprung, has it, by Danny King, timing this one beautifully. You never know how far she's going to go with this as well, because quite often in a situation like this, if you feel like you've got the legs, you just keep going, 250 pounds or not.
Well, that's right. I mean, she's opened up a huge gap. Hannah Barnes from MG Maxi Fuel's gone with her, and Danny's looking very, very strong. I mean, she's just flown back from Brussels. She's been racing over in Holland, but she's looking very, very fluid and comfortable there.
Well, it's all about two riders right now. It's been very much the case for some time. Oh, just nipping through and saying, thank you very much. Well, she used her as a foil there, but Hannah Barnes coming through on Danny King, and the pair of them now look like they might well start working together. In a track such as this, a short criterium circuit essentially, quick look over her shoulder as well, that's where a switchback can pay dividends. Oh, and goodness me, she certainly has decided that this day belongs to her. She may have shared honours, if you like, with Hannah Barnes a little bit earlier on, but tired, I think, of perhaps just carrying somebody with her. That's not Hannah Barnes up the road, by the way, it's another lap rider. And I've got to say that Danny King has decided that today surely belongs to her. And look at those trying to keep on her coattails. It's a real mix further down the order as the lap riders just start to get involved and maybe just cause a few issues for the chasers. And here they are. And included amongst this number, don't forget, is Hannah Barnes, who did so well on the opening couple of primes. Well, Danny King at the moment is just bossing this one. She feels that she's got the legs, certainly more legs even than Hannah Barnes and the chasers. A lot of lap riders out there as well, but this is going to be another 250 pounds for Danny King, no problem.
She's certainly got a big break here now. Looks like she's over a minute in front now, and set for victory here in the first ever women's milk race.
Into the fourth prime as we stand, and there is one rider that's head and shoulders above absolutely everybody, cutting all the corners. She's actually riding this as if she is on a time trial bike. Every single apex she is meeting, look at that, drift over to the right hand side of the road, then she'll cut back upon herself once more, and it's all about minor numbers for the rest of the pack. Danny King has got such a lead over the chasers that she can almost afford herself a little bit of comfort. It looks like minor places for them because they're so far back down behind the course here.
Well, they are, but all Danny's got to do is make sure that she stays upright for these last lap or so. You've got Emma Trott there back in the bunch, who's moving up forward through the group, and of course there's a lot at stake, a lot of money, and they still want to be on that podium. There's second, third places still to be won.
Well, the crowd rise once more, and there is Sarah Story waving the flag. Wish her all the very best for her new arrival, which is due very, very soon. If you want arrivals, though, it looks like the grand finale is going to belong to Danny King as it stands. Only 2 laps remaining. Well, the chase is going to be on, but only for minor places. Got to tell you that she is heading for the minute clear of this pack, and as they start to look at each other and try and psych each other out and work out who's got some legs, it is going to be all about second place because Danny King is in the comfort zone here.
Well, she certainly is, but I mean, there's still a lot at stake back in the bunch. Danny's really shown her class now, but you've got Emma Trott and you've got Hannah Barnes, who are back leading the chase, but Danny's going to solo to victory in the first ever women's milk race here in Nottingham.
Well, you know what, it may have been a hiatus of over 20 years. The marketing forum, the milk marketing forum that is, the Dairy Council, and of course Nottingham City Council have pulled this together, albeit quite late, but you wouldn't know it. Looking at the way this has been pulled together, it has been a superb event, and the crowds speak volumes, and in fact they're letting their noise be heard. That is not a smile, that's a grimace just for now. I wonder whether when she's going to allow herself to believe that she's going to be the first women's winner of the milk race.
I think she knows now that she's just going to make sure that she stays on her bike, doesn't do anything stupid, and she's going to be the first Olympic world champion and the first women's winner of a milk race in Britain.
Fantastic. Well, you can see a little bit of cat and mouse going on. Tell you something, there's some great teamwork being done here, just a little bit further behind Danny King, because Amy Roberts is trying to control the pack just behind, and it's allowing her further and further off the leash. Not saying she's doing anything untoward, Amy Roberts. She's doing exactly the team players thing, But right now, what this has done is allowed into the final lap here. She takes the bell, Danny King, and it's going to be a long time before it rings on the pack, who are almost 3/4 of this course behind.
They certainly are. I mean, a big gap between Danny and the rest of the girls, but the girls are now picking it up to try and jostle and position themselves to get ready to sprint for second, third and fourth place. A lot of money at stake, but Danny, as she comes around the pits for the last time there, a tremendous amount of support, a lot of applause, and the people of Nottingham are really appreciating this display of class from the Olympic champion.
Well, a little downhill towards Castlegate, and then she has that nasty little pinch point before she rises up St. Peter's Gate, and then she'll make her final couple of turns, and the crowd will rise to her. And I tell you something, the tempo of the chasers, as the gap just starts to narrow ever so slightly, it's still going to be around about 1.5 minutes, but it could have been even more than that. They're just watching themselves as she just watches the course, and finally that grimace turns to a smile as she sails round. She'll be out of the shadows into the sunshine, and this is going to be a beautiful moment. There she goes up the rise to the grand finale. The line is beckoning, and for those behind, there's going to be a real drag race to the line, I tell you.
Well, there is. I mean, there's a real mixture of talent here, a real mixture of girls, travel from all over the country, but they're determined to do well. There's a huge crowd here. And it's great to see that the crowd is really supporting and giving everyone lots of encouragement.
Well, I'll tell you something, the guy who's ringing the bell here is going to have a very tired arm at the end of the day, because he's not only got the chasers, but all those have been lapped to ring home as well. Ringing in the changes, perhaps. Oh, and ringing the neck of this race. Here comes our winner, Daniela King. The King is the queen as she crosses the line. Oh, genius at work. Well, the cameras pan back and we pick up the chasers right now. This is a superb battle for the line going on right now. Got to tell you that there are plenty involved too.
You've got Emma Trott there, who's really attacking there back in the peloton. She's really taken it by the scruff of the neck, but it looks like Emma Trott there is being followed very closely by Hannah Barnes and G. Maxifield.
Well, as Danny King just kind of warms down, she's going to have the honour of coming to a halt and then looking back to see who was nearest to taking her crown. I've got to say that the hot money's got to be on Hannah Barnes. She did so well in some of the opening preems here. Annabelle Simpson can't be counted out, though, for Team Hope Factory Racing. Charlene Joyner's also involved. But they're reaching the business end right now. They come through the cobble section once more. Still an awful long way to go.
Still a long way to go, and it's interesting to see. Looks like you've got Jessie Walker there, the daughter of Chris Walker, former milk race winner.
Haley Jones there, Emma Trott too, and they round that final top section. It's the run for home right now as they go through Bridlesmith Gate and head for the final bend. And look at this. Oh, you know what? Danny King's being reminded that there's a race still going on here. Well, she looks nice and relaxed, anything but from the pack, who are coming home fairly shortly. Over there, she says, her assistant. And this is that race for the line right now. Amy Roberts from Wingle Honda is also there, Emma Kay as well. But it looks like it's going to be Hannah Barnes, and it is. Hannah Barnes crosses the line. Another lap rider also involved. Amy Roberts in third place with Emma Kay, Annabelle Simpson and Charlene Joyner. Amazing performance, but nowhere near the standard of Danny King on the day.
Well, many congratulations, Danny. That was quite a solo effort from you today.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. I think I went after about 20 minutes, so I was on my own for about 40. So it was a really tough race, but my Wiggle Honda teammates did an absolutely fantastic job. Amy Roberts and Eleanor Barker, and covering everything at the start and then controlling it when I got away. So it's an amazing day out today, and the crowd were fantastic.
It wasn't initially a solo effort, or was it? Because you had another rival with you initially when the first break went.
Yeah, Hannah Barnes came with me for about a lap, and then yeah, couldn't stay with me, and I just had to go it alone then.
How hard has it been for you to raise yourself up again after the Olympics? I know most Olympic riders had a little bit of time off to celebrate. Now you've had to refocus. Have you found that easy?
No, not initially. I had about 4 weeks off my bike straight after the games, but then we had Glasgow World Cup and the World Championships, you know, coming up quite soon after the games, so I had to get back on my bike quick because I want to win everything I ride, so, you know, I couldn't sit back for long, training really hard. I've been racing in Holland with Wiggle Honda, and I've got a lot more road and track races coming up, so I'm training really hard. I love riding my bike, and yeah, that's what it's all about. So I'm not lacking motivation at the moment.
I can see that, and I imagine now you'd be quite happy to come back to Nottingham.
For sure, yeah, it's been an incredible event. You know, the weather, the crowds, the race itself. It's been really professional, and yeah, fantastic event.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Confirmation of the result. Well, you already knew it. Danny King takes it. Hannah Barnes, who contested those streams so well, finishing ahead of Amy Roberts. That is a happy team. Job well done. Still to come, the men's milk race. Stay with us.